Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the 42mm Fortis B-42 Flieger chronograph alarm. Stainless steel, you can see this unique combination of a chronograph and alarm on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it if you like, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. Now, with the exception of the Ultra Haute de Gamme Glasuta Original Pano Retrograph, this is one of the only alarm chronograph watches you will ever see. Designed in conjunction with the legendary independent watchmaker Paul Gerber, the watch represents an extraordinary combination of complexity and usable value. Now, the watch on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, sits huge for a 42. Let's be clear, 42 across the round of the case. The watch is 53.5 millimeters from extremity of lug to extremity of lug. It's also 18 millimeters thick, so rest assured this one's not going to slip under a cuff or even a coat sleeve. This is a big, bold sports watch that's intended for rough play and built to suit. Now, the watch does have outstanding material quality, so everything that touches the skin impresses with its heft and its substance. Now, the case features a rounded back that nestles nicely on the wrist, and to its credit, the lugs do turn down very sharply, and there is very minimal flare to the bracelet, so despite the huge span of the watch and the immense bulk of the case, it actually sits nice and flush on your wrist and doesn't overlap the edges of the wrist. I'll show you what I mean. From extremity to extremity, the watch actually has a little bit of outward splay to the bracelet, so the fit, although imposing, is actually comfortable. Now, what it also has, the hallmark of a great sports watch, is that no matter how heavy the watch head itself, the bracelet and clasp combination should balance it out so it doesn't have any tendency to capsize or want to pull your wrist over. And that's where the Fortis B-42 Flieger machined out clasp with stamped external is actually remarkably effective. It counterbalances the huge mass of the watch itself. Each of these individual links probably weighs about as much as a Piaget Alta Plano. I mean, it's that tough. And on the bottom, the design is smart because the channels in between the individual links prevent the pulling of hair and the pinching of skin. Now, this clamshell style stamped outer and machined inner link gives the watch immense security on the wrist. The clamshell closes with a remarkably solid snick. The tolerances are outstanding, but what it also has is the flexibility that comes with a fold-out extension if you want to wear it over a thick winter coat, if you want to wear it over a dive suit, and Fortis being the official watch supplier of the Russian Space Agency, some might choose to wear it over a spacesuit sleeve. But the highlight of the watch is the timepiece itself, and here you can see Paul Gerber's masterpiece. Contained within is the Fortis caliber F2001. Now, it's a remarkable piece of engineering in its own right, but the interface, the dial, effectively communicates the immense amount of information being conveyed by the alarm, the date, the time, and the chronograph. So, let's start up the chronograph, so we get a little bit of chrono action as a backdrop. Now, the watch features a nice silver, almost eggshell off-white dial. It doesn't have a pronounced grain to it, it's more of a matte finish, so it glows warmly in direct light. You can also see that there's a splash of color, courtesy of this particular model's advancing tritium lume and the beautiful blued hands and applied Arabic numerals. Now, for a watch in this price range to feature full applied numerals really strikes me as an upscale feature and a nice refinement. I enjoy it, and I appreciate that Fortis went to the extra lengths to ensure that this one was just a little bit above the cut of this price range, just a little bit above the printed on numeral look. And you can see that they have nice depth, and it certainly pleases in the nuance it adds to the dial. Moreover, an effective use of a sloped chapter ring on the minute track gives the watch a little bit of depth and a nice progress from the relatively shallow but tall bezel to the base of the dial itself. So it doesn't appear to be a huge sheer drop. There is a little bit of slope and inward cant to this rehaut, and it effectively provides the transition from metal to silver dial. Now, you can see that there is a little window for the date, and right next to it there is an on-off toggle for the alarm. Silver when it's off, blue when it's on, and you can see that this little triangular pointer right here, which you actually set in the opposite crown direction as the quick change date, is used to denote when the alarm goes off. Now, there are 3 crown positions. One is winding, one is a second crown position where you alternately set the quick set date and set the alarm time, and the other is the outermost position where you can hack the movement and set the time precisely to a reference time, either a mission timer if you are a cosmonaut or a known accurate quartz clock or atomic clock online. Now the Caseback is a display, despite the fact that this is a 20 ATM 200 meter watch, so just over 660 feet. It is a true sports watch in every sense, and it can get wet and play hard. Now you're looking at the striker and the resonator of the Paul Gerber alarm complication, and it's based on a Valjoux 7750. What sets this one apart is that whereas the standard Valjoux 7750 is a 25 joule movement, this one, far more complex but only 1.5 millimeters thicker, is a 35 joule job. Very efficient, unidirectional, automatic winding, 42-hour power reserve, and as I mentioned, with a hacking feature. It's an immense amount of complexity in a watch that quite frankly pegs the meter for value in its class. Everything about the case, everything about the bracelet, even the screw fixed rather than spring bar fixed lugs adjoining the bracelet speak to the quality of this timepiece. It's a rare piece, a rare combination of a chronograph and alarm in, quite frankly, one of the best physical constructions for the money. Sturdy, robust, and every inch the pure tool watch. You can see this Fortis B-42 Flieger chronograph alarm, 42 millimeters in stainless steel, on our website, watchyouwant.com.